Hello and welcome to PoPoLoCrois Gaming Pickups. Oh yes, we are back with more gaming pickups, and this month I'm going to be showing you mostly PC Engine stuff. In fact, not mostly, all PC Engine stuff, all CD stuff. Now in the last gaming pickups video we did actually have the games zoomed in on the table, and a lot of people did like that because they got to see the manual and so on in bigger detail. So we're going to be doing that again in this video. But also I'm going to be putting the videos up in the corner there because I know a lot of people did miss those videos. And after we've taken a look at my gaming pickups, we're going to be taking a look at your gaming pickups. So stay tuned for that. And remember, if you want to send in your gaming pickup videos, just send them to the email address down below there and I'll feature them in the next video. Okay, let's take a look at what games have been bought in the last month. Okay, so first up, let's take a look at Macross 2036. This is a Super CD-ROM. Yes, that's what they're called, Super CD-ROM. And as you can see, it is a shooter based upon the Macross animation. And what I do really like about the instruction manual is it comes with an advertisement for the Ranma game on the back, which I also have and will be showing you a little bit later on. Taking a look in the booklet, we can see we got the usual selection of story and then character profiles, all looking good. And then it goes into the basic instructions along with some more beautiful artwork. The game itself is a pretty decent horizontal scrolling shooter where you get to buy different upgrades for your ship at the end of each level. Basically these are just like your sub-weapon. They're okay, but they don't really make too much difference to the game. Overall, a reasonably decent shoot 'em up which has loads of cutscenes voiced by the real actors of the anime, so that is one cool thing. Alright, next we've got a bit of a rare one. We've got a couple of rare PC Engine CD-ROM games today. This is another Super CD-ROM, and this is Mystic Formula. Now it's not a racing game, even though you may think so, and it is by Macross, so don't be expecting the best game in the world. In fact, you know when a game is pretty dud when the focus is on the voice actors or actresses. But yeah, playing this... Ooh, no, that's a bit dodgy. Whoa, okay. Now playing this game on easy mode is incredibly boring, but once you put it onto normal, the game really does pick up. And what it is basically an overhead shoot 'em up, you know, just a run and gun overhead style, as you can see here. And the graphics can be really nice in some parts, very impressive, and then other parts they look as cheap as can be. So it seems that they basically paid some of the artists a lot of money, and some of them they just didn't give any money to, and that's why some of the stages look crap. And what is also unusual is the manual is black and white. But when you're playing the game, you can choose between one of these 4 characters, and you can also pick up power-ups throughout the game. And one of these other characters will become an AI-controlled character to assist you. Personally, I think Stera, is that what it is? Well, it says Stera in Japanese, is the best character. Not because of that picture, but because of her weapons. It has the widest spread and seems to have a good equal power to spread ratio. The guy's the most powerful, but he only fires straight ahead, so it is a little bit difficult to kill a lot of enemies coming in from the sides. Her weapon's just useless. So yeah, that is Mystic Formula. A reasonable game, and quite a rare and expensive one. Now here comes a game which is total and utter garbage. It's by Renovation Games, which is part of Telenet, and yeah, Telenet, as we know, make a lot of junk. This is just a normal CD-ROM title, and this is called Legion, and it's a scroll and shooter. And it is one of the worst scroll and shooters I have ever played. It is awful. Now I'll tell you the problem with it is that your craft has the weakest firepower known to man. It is absolutely useless, and what makes it even worse is it moves really slowly. The enemy ships and the enemy bullets move 2 times faster than you do, which means you get hit, you know, before you even see what is on the screen. It is just awful. I mean, it sounds crap when you're playing the game. It has this narration over the beginning of every single stage. The music's actually chiptune music. The narration is coming from the CD, and it's just It's awful. It's the worst game ever. In fact, this is so bad. I'm gonna sell it. I'm not going to keep that. That is crap. Okay, here's another pretty expensive and a bit of a rare one. This is a Fiend Hunter, and this is basically, it looks like Ernest Evans on the back, and I'm pretty sure that's what Ernest Evans was based upon, or this was based upon Ernest Evans. This is by Right Stuff, and Right Stuff is also another company not known for great games. This is what could be described as a cross between Prince of Persia, Ernest Evans, and an RPG. So it's a right mixture of different types of games. Very nice opening and anime cutscenes, but the game itself is very stiff. The character controls kind of like with jerky commands. It doesn't move fluidly. It's very marionette style movement, and as you can see here, the controls to do basic things are quite cumbersome. Yeah, I like the idea of what they were going for, but the game itself just doesn't come off very well. It's a bit of a dud actually, and yes, another one that I think I will be selling. Alright, we got a classic here. This is what did they call it? Pompic World, or Popping World. Popping World, I should say. And basically, yeah, this is just Pang, isn't it? This is a very, very good version of Pang. You cannot go wrong with this, and this one is in mint condition. Well, all the games are in mint condition. Well, the discs are. Some of the manuals are a bit grotty, maybe. But yeah, this is an amazing version of Pang. And as you can see, the inside of the book has come out because the staples are not in there. What the hell? Oh well, never mind. But yeah, it's Pang. You know what Pang is. Basically, go from world to world, blow into bubbles. This is a very, very playable version of the game with a great jolly tunes. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, RPG time now, and this is one simply known as Magic Koala, or Koala, I should say. But actually, the weird thing is the Japanese name says Magiku, or Magikuru, or in other words, magical. That's what that says, but that's not what that says. Weird. And this one takes up a lot of memory. As you can see down here, it says 128 slots, I guess, of memory. So yeah, you better get a backup cartridge if you're going to be playing this one, I think. Looking at the back, you can see, yeah, fairly overhead standard defer. This is an action RPG. And to be honest, it's okay at best. The game has some weird issues with the scrolling. A lot of the screen glitches at the top, and now I don't know if that's because I'm using an arcade card with it, because I don't have the second system card. I use the arcade card for pretty much everything. So maybe that's causing a lot of the glitches, but a lot of the glitches appear up here at the top of the screen when you're scrolling forward. It plays okay. The attacks are kind of weird. They have a delay to them. So basically when you do an attack, they'll go to throw out the weapon or whatever, but they'll have some sort of animation before that, which gives a bit of a delay and kind of makes it a bit weird. So you have to really think about the timing when you attack things. People that have played maybe Link or Liver Story on the Sega Saturn will be familiar with the type of game this is, although they are not related in any way. Alright, next up we have a scroll and beat 'em up. This is Crest of the Wolf, and this actually got released in the US. Can't remember what the US name is now, but it did get a US release. By Hudson Soft, or released by Hudson Soft. It's actually by Westone, or West One, however you pronounce that company's name. The company behind Wonder Boy games. And it's a scrolling fighter. Average at best. Definitely inspired by not Golden Axe, Final Fight, as you can see here. Definitely inspired. The introduction is very similar to Final Fight. Look, even we got our guy, our Cody here with a white shirt, and this guy's in orange, so that's going to be Guy, isn't it? We got the mayor as well, although he's not playable, and the girlfriend who is kidnapped. Yeah, so definitely Final Fight inspired. but it is nowhere near as good as Final Fight to play. It's a little bit slow, it's lacking moves, it's okay. It's just your average scroll and beat 'em up, nothing too special at all there. Alright, let's just get that back in to the casing. Okay. Next up, we've got an excellent shooter. This is Gradius II. Gopher. Alright. And again, another super CD ROM. And this is featuring RSS sound, the rolling sound system. And this does sound really, really good when you play it through a stereo system. Got really good stereo effect on it. And this is a complete copy, although the spine card is missing, but we do have the stickers. Surprisingly, the stickers are still intact from 1992. That's what, 29 years old? Yeah, 29, 30 years old. Jeez. And the stickers are still intact. So let's take a look through the manual. Now, as you expect, it's Gradius, so it controls like Gradius, it plays like Gradius. If you like Gradius, you'll like this. It is an excellent game. Bit of slow down in there, some sprite flicker, but you know, it's a solid shooter. You cannot go wrong. Most Gradius games are good, and this is no exception. Oh, there you go. You can see the kind of diagram there for the speaker setup. Yeah, so if you got it set up like that, it sounds really, really good. Alright, let's just put that over there. And on to the Ranma games. Okay, so we got two Ranma games to show you today. Here's the first one. And as you can see, they don't have it in English on the sides, unlike Saturn and PlayStation games. These are both beat 'em ups. I do like the cover on this one. I always thought female Ranma looked well better than male Ranma. Obviously. But yeah, it's got the original voice cast as listed there. And the idea of this game is, even though it is a one-on-one beat 'em up, it's kind of played out to a story. So you just don't go around fighting people willy-nilly. There is a story to it, and you have to pass certain, what would you say, requirements to move on to the next battle. And each battle you do get different moves as well. So it just build up on it, on the playability the more you play into it. And between stages you do get to play cards with the Casino King, and that lets you continue or not. But yeah, it's a reasonably average fighter, to be honest. Nothing too amazing, but nothing too bad. I think the Ranma fighters, they started becoming better, once we got to the Super Famicom game. But, these PC Engine ones are also pretty good. Excuse me. And surprisingly, they're made by NCS Messiah. And they also made the first couple of Super Famicom Ranma games. So I think this is the first one of the two. Yeah, this is the first one. This one is a bit more janky to play, but it does have a lot more animated cutscenes. And yeah, this one has scroll and walk along sections in it, which are fairly decent. Once you finish the scrolling section, you get to do the one-on-one beat 'em up section. And to be honest, this one plays pretty poorly. It's kind of stiff, and it's difficult to make contact and play it as a one-on-one beat 'em up. It just, it came at a time when one-on-one beat 'em ups were starting to become good, and this isn't one of the good ones. It's a bit of a naff one, but I got it anyway just for the collection. There are other Ranma games on the PC Engine, but they are RPG based, so not worth playing. Alright, here is a classic. This is Forgotten Worlds. Now, I remember playing this on the Sega Mega Drive, and I thought it was pretty good. And then I played it on the PC Engine, and then I thought the Mega Drive version was complete and utter pants. This wipes the floor with the Mega Drive original. It's got much more detailed graphics, more animation, more backgrounds. It's got the speech. This basically is the arcade version in your home, minus the parallax scrolling in most cases. But yeah, this is a good port, and it also comes with the option of PC Engine sound or arcade sound. Now the arcade speech is very muffled, but when you put it into PC Engine version, the speech is still muffled, to be honest, but it is a little bit better than the arcade original. But yeah. Now, what is kind of annoying is this is not a 6-button compatible game, so as you know, in Forgotten Worlds you rotate your character left or right to shoot. And what they've gone and done is they've used the run button to move in one direction and one of the normal buttons to spin in the other direction, while the third button is used to shoot. And that is kind of annoying because I play PC Engine games with a joystick, and the run button on the joystick is like up here at the top, so it's kind of annoying to play with a joystick. So yeah, unfortunately the PC Engine controller's cables, the normal joypads cables, are very, very short, so it's kind of difficult to play, you know. Alright, enough complaining and on to the last PC Engine game. This is Eldis. Now this game can be kind of cheap or can be kind of expensive, it depends when you buy it. And it's another NCS Messiah title. The idea of this game is kind of bizarre really. Basically we've got this girl and boy. And not these two, that's Shibi Beam, some man or whatever it's bloody called. Not them two. Anyway, we've got this girl and boy, and they basically come out of school and they decide to do some graffiti on the walls of the local town wall. There you go, there they are. And the graffiti gets turned into real objects from this alien that comes from some sort of time warp. And yeah, basically you just gotta fly around in your spaceship shooting everything that you've drawn. It's a very weird concept, and it's actually a pretty reasonable shooter. Some players might find it a bit difficult though, because the power-ups are written as text, they're not icons. So either you read them or you just remember the shape of the text and what power they belong to. So they can be a little bit difficult to figure out at first. But yeah, it's kind of a Proteus style cute shooter. I'm not going to say cute up, I hate that word. But yeah, it's one of those type of games. And I'm sure you can see in the video up there that it does look pretty decent. Not the best shooter on the system, but it's definitely one of the good ones. Alright, so that is it for me and the game and pickups. Not a lot, well, not a lot of variety, it's all PC Engine, but hopefully there'll be more variety next time. You can see my hands, lucky you. So let's take a look at your games, and so you don't have to look at my hands, here you go, take a look at that box there. So let's move on and take a look at the games that you guys have been buying. And remember, if you want to send your next collection of game and pickups pictures to the show to be featured at the end, send them to the email address right there, and I'll put them on the end of the next game and pickups video. Until then guys, keep on gaming and enjoy your games. See ya!